All right. The top 5 reasons why you should leave the Jehovah's Witnesses. I know the microphone is in a different location, but that's because Zizi decided that this is where he wants to sleep. So a lot of times you guys can't see him because he oftentimes sleeps here, but I decided to put the famous pillow up there. And sure enough, he curled up in a little ball and is taking a nap. So we adjusted the microphone, and now we are ready to go. Why do I always point whenever it's like intro? Just run the intro. Jesus. All right, so I have the definitive list on the top 5 reasons why someone should leave the Jehovah's Witnesses. And the first one is sin. The most common reason why someone wants to leave the organization is clearly because they want to sin. They don't want to abide by the Bible's moral standards. They want to do deplorable things like homosexuality or theft or cheating on their spouse, drug abuse. They want to just go all the way, get STDs, maybe go to jail for embezzlement, everything you can possibly imagine. So sin, I think, is one of the most common ways that people decide, you know what, I don't think being a member of the Jehovah's Witnesses is for me, and a good reason to leave is because I would like to do some horrible things and just be a generally bad person. So I think that has to be number one on the list. So next up on the list is being angry at God, because things can go wrong in your life and you just start thinking, God, why? Con! And because of that, you leave the Watchtower, which is perfectly reasonable in my opinion. A good reason to leave the Watchtower is being angry at an all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipresent deity that should be looking after you because you are obeying all of his commands, and yet your life is going absolutely terribly. So I think that is a good, valid, reasonable, and logical reason that you would leave the Watchtower organization. Next up on the list is when someone offends you in the congregation. Now, I have to say, maybe 90% of the people that reach out to me about the reasons that they left the Watchtower is about being offended. Or maybe that's just if I go on Watchtower Library and look at the reasons people become inactive. Anyway, so when you're offended by someone, you could walk into the Kingdom Hall with a new dress or a new suit, and some jerk has the audacity to say, oh, well, I don't really like the color of that, or, oh, do you think that's modest? Or what if an elder comes up to you and says, oh, well, I don't like your hairstyle, or next time you come to the meeting, I got to do my elder voice. So, brother, next time you come to the meeting, please be sure to shave. Your 5 o'clock shadow could be seen as worldly, and it might not be encouraging for the rest of the brothers. It would be so loving. Even Zizi's annoyed. He woke up from his nap like, what the hell are you saying? No, but yes, in all seriousness, that is a very valid reason. Being butthurt, essentially, at some pig-headed person that has an opinion and they're putting it out on you, that is a valid reason to leave the Watchtower organization. So next up on the list is mental health. And this one can be a little bit tricky because sometimes you need to draw away from the congregation because you are feeling depressed, or you do have a serious mental condition that should be addressed by professionals, by the way. But we won't talk about that right now. But it's a very good reason to leave the organization. You don't feel too good. You're going through issues, and you're unfortunately not being told to go and seek professional help by the Watchtower. So therefore, it's difficult to deal with these problems. And so the natural recourse for that is to just get out of the organization And for some reason, that seems to be a natural conclusion for many people. Therefore, we're going to go with that for number 4 on the list of best reasons to leave the Watchtower organization. You don't really have to worry about any moral reasons, any logical reasons, any factual reasons. Just blame it on mental health. Well, maybe not blame it on mental health, but it's because of mental health that you should leave the Watchtower organization. You just want to pursue your career. And I think that's a fantastic reason to leave Watchtower. You would rather sacrifice your friends, your family, your faith, the 3 F's, and just give all of that up for the 4th F, finances. Because why not? Money makes happiness, right? And I'm going to stop pretending that this list is real at this moment. I'm pretty sure that most of the people that have watched some of my videos before were fully in on the joke. The mental health isn't a joke, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I came across these articles when I was searching through the Watchtower library that were talking about, why people might leave the organization. And it kind of got me started on this idea of, I should make a video on this because I think it would be fun and a little bit funny. But I will actually be releasing on Saturday my real list of the best reasons to leave the Watchtower. But I think I'll just entitle it Jehovah's Witnesses and one will be Watchtower. Just, I don't know, whatever. Anywho, so why does the Watchtower use this particular narrative? That's kind of the question that I'd like to kind of delve into right now. What is it about these things that they say, oh, well, if someone left the organization, it must be because of these reasons. So starting off with sin. Well, this one's obvious, right? People that get disfellowshipped, why do they get disfellowshipped? Because they sinned. So that's the easy, low-hanging fruit narrative to put out there. So when they say, well, why do people leave the Watchtower? Well, it could only be because they wanted to sin and, do their own thing and not want to go along with God's moral standards. And I remember being an active witness and thinking when someone became inactive or just, faded away, oh, well, they must just want to do their own thing. They probably want to watch porn and go to bars and try and hook up with people. Oh my God, how disgusting that would be. They probably want to go on a wholesome date to the movies and eat popcorn and then go back to the person's house and talk and drink wine. Oh, how disgusting that could be. Anyway, but these are the things that Jehovah's Witnesses actively think whenever they're trying to figure out or contextualize why people are leaving the organization. Because the ultimate thing going on in your mind is, well, don't you want to live in paradise? Don't you want to live forever? Don't you want to worship God? God gave you so much. Don't you want to, show him that honor and respect? And so when you start there, all of these sort of things that they're trying to tell you as the reasons that people leave, which honestly, I don't think any of them are legitimate, in my opinion. It makes perfect sense why they would do it. Well, they just wanted to do drugs, so they left Jehovah's organization. Next up, being angry at God. This one is really pathetic, in my opinion, because when people leave religion, I don't know how often, I really don't know how often. I've never heard of a single case in my personal experience. Maybe you have. But as far as my perspective goes, I've never heard of a single person saying, well, I'm an atheist because I was angry at God. And yet the Watchtower decides that, we're going to tell Jehovah's Witnesses that the reason people leave the organization or leave religion altogether is because they're angry at something that they don't believe in. I can't be angry at unicorns. God, I'm so mad that unicorns don't exist. It literally makes no sense to me. But at the time, while I was a witness, I still would have those conversations because it was told to me that that would be a legitimate reason that someone would leave. Next up is being offended. I think this is the most common one that I came across when doing research for this video, is someone is hurt by someone else in the congregation. Whether it's counsel from an elder, they didn't like the decision that one of their friends or family members was disfellowshipped, and so they got mad and therefore became inactive. I think it was just making weird mouth noises. That's right, baby. Got mint in the water today. Actually started a small herb garden. So we got mint and cilantro, Fresno peppers, tomatoes, rosemary, and some sage and basil. So yeah, a little fresh mint for the water these days. Hell yeah. So then the next one up is the mental health. And this one is, I think, a little bit tricky, because I think some people, and I've seen it suggested in the online EXJW community even, to just say, well, I'm feeling bummed out, I'm feeling depressed, and therefore I can't come to meetings. And it's an effective way to fade. And that's if you're going to talk to the elders. I particularly don't like this approach, and being someone that has to actively deal with the issues at hand. I think, I don't speak for everyone, but for me personally, I don't know how I feel about someone faking that, oh, well, I'm going through depression and therefore I can't come to meetings. Oh, well, I'm so depressed I can't go out in service. There's something slightly unsettling about someone faking it. But maybe that's just putting it off to the side, because it is an easy way to get out of the elders constantly hounding you. And so the last one is the pursuit of a career or money. And I just can't imagine that any good, decent people would say to themselves, oh, I'm going to abandon my family and all of my friends because I want to pursue my career more. If someone does say that, then they're probably kind of a jerk anyway, especially if they're abandoning their family. And so let me just run through why all of these are bad reasons to leave the organization. So when you are dealing with a high control group and a cult, let's just call it for what it is, it actually does matter the reasons that you leave. And people will leave the organization for the wrong reasons all of the time. I was talking to someone that contacted me because I watched some of my videos, and they were telling me about their partner, and that they were upset that they weren't getting help to work on a home renovation project. And that was the reason they decided to stop going to meetings. And from that, their life did exactly what Watchtower predicts. Just everything that Watchtower says will happen in someone's life if you leave the organization, that's the exact route that it took. To me, that's a clear example of someone that left for the wrong reasons. So, in the video on Saturday, I'm going to go over this a little bit more and explain why it's important to leave for the right reasons, and why Watchtower's narrative is completely nonsensical. So I guess we'll just save that whole thing for the video on Saturday. All right, well, thank you so much for watching my fake list of the best reasons to leave the Watchtower organization. And on Saturday, you can look forward to a video talking about my real reasons for leaving the Watchtower organization. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. and we will see you next time. Thank you. The cat little turn thing during the outro was kind of cute.